What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, I want to give a shout out to Terry for the donation to the channel via the Cash App. And he brings up an interesting point, or maybe I should say interesting solution to what's going on in the All-Star game. And maybe it'll be a way to perhaps bring scoring down and maybe to a certain extent fix some of the problems that we're having now. Pretty much when we look at the All-Star game now, it's basically a combination of uncontested dunks and uncontested three-point shots. Essentially practice. That's what the All-Star game has turned into. And his solution is to take the three-point line away from the All-Star game. Take it away. And I think it would bring scoring down, obviously, because there'll be no three-point line. Therefore, no three-point baskets. When you look at the fact that I think the East made something like 40, maybe over 40 three-point field goals. I think the West made maybe like approximately 30. That's unreal. That's unreal. I think a couple of years ago they set a record. It was 122 combined three-point field goals. So I'll make the assumption that they smashed that record the other day in the All-Star game. Unbelievable. So, look, if they took the three-point line away, that'd be fewer points, obviously. But the only thing about that is, I would assume what they would do more if there's no three-point line is there'd be more uncontested layups. This was my assumption. They would still have the same problem with no defense being played. So yeah, the points will be lower because there's no three-point basket. So instead of all these threes, there are twos. So instead of the score being 211 to 186, maybe it's more like 166 to 156. But the problem still would be no defense being played at all. Now, I understand that this isn't the regular season or the playoffs, but still, you still have this same essential issue, and that is, it's not the three-point shot per se, although some of us don't like that there's too many of them. It's the lack of defense. Like, these players don't give a damn. That's the fundamental problem to me. They don't really care. Anthony Edwards just said the other day that the big problem is that these guys look at the All-Star break as that break. Like how, when we were in school back in the day, how we looked at winter and spring vacation. You didn't want to crack open a book or do any type of mental gymnastics when you're on your break. You just want to go out there and play and have fun and be a kid, right? Well, that's how they look at the All-Star break. They look at it like, okay, well, this is our time to do what we really want to do. Remember, these are some young guys who are multimillionaires. So what do you think they want to do on their breaks? It ain't basketball. And I think a lot of it deals with extracurricular activities, Those chicks don't come to those All-Star. You don't think chicks was all in Vegas? These chicks are always in Vegas, but you don't think them chicks flooded Vegas trying to get at those guys? They're distracted. They don't want to exert too much energy. They're out there doing the little bit that they want to do so they can have the energy to get into what they want to really get into on the weekend. It was a lot of fucking going on in Vegas this past weekend. A lot of fucking going on. I don't usually talk like that, but come on, man. Gotta look at the real. We gotta be realistic about this. These players don't care. These guys care about one, and most of them care about one thing and one thing only: making as much money as possible, and their brand. When they become that type of player, when they get that type of status, that's all they care about. Anything that threatens that brand, and their image, they're not going to engage in. So these players have a lot to lose in their mind if they lose a slam dunk contest. If they lose, if they get politically involved, they're afraid that it's going to affect their bottom line. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they care about. All-Star game isn't very important to them. So yeah, this is just my opinion. I don't think that would do much of anything. It would lower the score, but it still would be the same boring layup line, open gym type shit. It's basically watching these players play practice. That's what the All-Star game is. Just practice shooting. No defense whatsoever. But for whatever reason, look, us older cats, we know what the deal is. But a lot of these younger dudes, they think this is great basketball. Look, a lot of us, for the first time in a long time, watched the Super Bowl this past 2 weeks ago. You know why that Super Bowl was entertaining? Because it was defense actually being played. See how much more enjoyable the game can be from a dramatic sense if there's actually resistance to a player just throwing down the field, just throwing. Yeah, it looks great. Statistics, yeah, it looks all great. But that's why we say the playoffs, or when a person really is tested and when they really show what they're really made of, that's the ones we have respect for. See, some bum fighting lesser bums and building a 50-0 record, that's not impressive to me. But seeing Muhammad Ali fight a dangerous Ernie Shavers in the twilight of his career, or fighting, George Foreman, the most unbeatable fighter of all time, some say, or, upsetting the world and beating hard-hitting Sonny Liston, or fighting George Chuvalo, or Walt Frazier, or, making short work of one of the great lightweight champions of all time, and, what's his name? Bob, I can't think of his name right now. I'm blanking right now, but, Ali fought them all. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it.